Alright guys, welcome back to Assassin's Creed 3. The last time we met in Assassin's Creed 3, we started teaming up with Haytham because Benjamin Church stole a bunch of supplies, and, well, Haytham wants him dead too because, I guess Haytham also, Benjamin also betrayed Haytham in some way. I don't know, do they ever say what Benjamin Church did to betray Haytham in the first place? Like, later on, they're gonna mention, like, he mentions that it's like, Haytham mentions that there was a bunch of clever tricks and traps and stuff like that. But exactly, what did Benjamin Church do? Like, was it because of the fact that he was going against because what's weird is, as, Haytham said last part, both the Assassins and the Templars have the same goal in terms of fighting the British. They want independence and all that kind of stuff from Great Britain and all that crap. So I'm assuming it has something to do with that. I'm assuming Benjamin Church because, as George Washington mentioned, whatchamacallit, George Washington pointed out that Benjamin Church has been sending the military tactics to the British soldiers, so I'm assuming it has something to do with that. But I feel like there's something else more personal with the Haytham and with Church. But who cares? It doesn't matter.
Benjamin Church, you stand accused of betraying the Templar Order and abandoning our principles in pursuit of personal gain. In consideration of your
personal
crime,
gain? I don't know.
I hereby sentence you to death.
No!
Why do this? I have to ask. Why do the subtitles make it seem like Haytham just said death, but all he said was death? But when he shouted now, it was just like a casual now, like the subtitles made it seem now.
It's Britain who will win this war. You always did prefer principle to profit. Perhaps that's why your little kingdom started to crumble.
By the way, I want to talk about how I genuinely just killed that guy, and he's still fucking talking. And actually, he's gonna be in the cutscene later. He's gonna be in a cutscene in a minute. Like, I legit just chopped his head. I basically just chopped his head off. And I'm just like, oh, no, he's dead. And he's still talking. Like, he taunts you this whole battle. Oh, that's what killed me. Okay, because back when I played this game, I was getting I got pissed off here because I had no idea what killed me. Because I thought there was something hit me that didn't have a counter prompt. It made me angry. And I was so confused, but no, I just got shot. That's what killed me. Okay, that makes more sense.
It was a nice dream you had, but a dream is all it ever was. Look at the half-breed fight like some feral dog. Best we put him down, boys. Those two, get him!
Ooh, I got. It is actually very possible to have that guy hit another enemy with the axe swing, but it's very hard. You got to line it up.
They have reinforcements.
Damn. Yeah, but I legit killed this guy, and he's still in the cutscene alive. Like, I basically chopped his head off.
You have my word.
It's down the street to the left.
He left yesterday for Martinique. Took passage on a trading sloop called the Welcome. Loaded half its hold with the supplies he stole from the Patriots. That's all I know, I swear. You promised.
And he kept his word. Let's go.
Oh. I already did talk about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync, didn't I? I talked about that last part, so I don't see the point talking about it again because because I think I've already given my initial thoughts on it. You know, it looks good. There is one thing that I guess people are worried about with the fact that you need an internet connection to download the game, and I'm just like, well, yeah. You know, usually nowadays, you know, with gaming, and as I love physical media, I really do. You know, I've always preferred having the disc for movies and video games because, you know, for one, I always just love the idea of having the disc. You know, because I love the case. I love having the case for games. But even I have to acknowledge that it is stupid that nowadays, most of the time, the game data is not fully on the disc. And you have to wait for an update patch or something like that. You have to wait for the game's files to download before you can fully play the game. One big example of this, actually, that I experienced recently that frustrated me really beyond belief because of the fact that it was a remaster of a 2005 game, was Resident Evil 4. Excuse me, Resident Evil 4 on the PS4, because after I beat Requiem, I kind of went on a bit of a Resident Evil binge and kind of replayed basically every Resident Evil game up to this point, just for the fun of it. And I wanted to play 4, but I didn't want to, you know, get out the PS2, get all the converters and all that kind of stuff set up just to play Resident Evil 4. So I played the PS4 version, because why not? I have it. I have like, what, 5 copies of Resident Evil 4 at this point, so I just chose the PS4 version. And, you know, I already had the PS5 set up, so I put in the Resident Evil 4, and I immediately start playing it, and then I get to about right before the big section in the village where, you know, Leon says, "Where's everyone going? Bingo?" Like, it's like the door right before that. And then right when I press the button to go through the door, I get a notification saying, you can't progress any further, you gotta wait for the game to download first. And I go, what? Because the full game fit on a PS2 disc in 2005. It fit on a GameCube disc and all that kind of stuff. But I have to wait for the game to download on the PS4? What the fuck? Oh, Haytham lost his hat again. But it's like, I mean, that just kind of pissed me off, because it's like, I hate to sound old. I do. It's like every time I complain like something about this, I always sound like I'm getting old. It's like I miss the old days in gaming where you could just put the disc in and everything was in it. You know, you want to play Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut? Boom, put it in your GameCube, start playing it immediately. Want to play, but nowadays if you want to play fucking Sonic Frontiers, you got to put the disc in, pray you have all the download data installed already, and then wait for the inevitable update patch that takes about 10 minutes or some shit, depending on your Wi-Fi. And it's like, it's hard. It's annoying, but it's one of those things where it's like, I miss the old days. Then again, I feel older every time I like hear about, like, one thing about working retail is you deal with a lot of kids, especially nowadays when they're looking for a particular like new trending toy, and then like their parents come up too and they're wondering about it. But like, one example is the new Nito things. I had to Google that shit whenever I started first hearing about it, because like I got asked it like maybe once or twice a month ago, I want to say, and I was like, oh, it's probably just some toy that I don't care about. But then like a couple days later, I started getting like multiple people asking me about it, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta figure out what this shit is. So I Googled it, and I'm like, so it's a fidget toy? And I felt old as shit when I said that, because it was something that was trending on TikTok, and I'm just like, oh my god. It's like, I'm 26, man. 26, man. What am I doing? It's like, what? It's like, when do I get it's like, so when do I start getting... It's like, so I just gotta start going, like, back in my day, we used to put the disc in the console. We didn't have to do this digital download crap. Oh yeah, right. By the way, did you remember that Assassin's Creed 3 had the naval combat? In all honesty, though, speaking of the naval combat, I do look forward to seeing how the improvements on the naval combat in Black Flag Resynced, because that has always been something that has just always been something I've always been against with the Assassin's Creed series, with 3, 4, and Rogue. I've never been a big fan of the naval combat, and I was so happy when they got rid of it in Unity and Syndicate. And then they brought it back for Origins, I believe, and Valhalla. I don't recall if it's... I don't think it's in Mirage. And I know it's... I don't think it's in Shadows. I don't remember. Again, I haven't played Shadows yet. And I don't see myself playing it anytime soon. I think I'm just gonna not play the... I have a feeling I'm never gonna play Shadows at this rate. And I know it seems mean to, you know, never give Shadows a proper chance, but it's just one of those things where, like, I looked at the trailer, watched some of the gameplay footage, and I don't see the appeal. I don't see if it's worth my time. Because I just don't see it. I really don't. I don't know what it is.
It's almost as though you want him to escape.
Oh yeah, for this section we gotta chase that boat. And yes, they do have times where you can't destroy the boat. Like, you can't even shoot. I don't even think you can shoot at it. Because the game will prompt you saying, hey, dipshit, you can't destroy the boat. You gotta chase it. But it's the same principles as, in all honesty, though, they're kind of generous with... Haytham. And by the way, this entire time, Haytham is going to be basically on your ass, just going, you know, you fucking suck at this shit. It's like it's the first time you're playing this gameplay style.
Can the ship go no faster?
No, we don't have travel mode, Haytham. Like, you know, that's just the thing about, you know, me nowadays, is like, I don't always give every game a chance, especially if nothing about it interests me, or if it's from a franchise that I know has just never really been my cup of tea. You know, it's the same, like, I know, I see the appeal in Monster Hunter. It does genuinely look like a good game. I just don't think I'd ever really put enough time into it to enjoy it. Is my thing, because it's like, it feels like a very big commitment, and how the hell did I do that? I didn't feel like I did that objective, but whatever.
God damn it! We're going to lose him!
What other choice have we? Those rocks would crush us!
The current here is swift. We still have a chance.
But like, I know one big game that everyone's going to be talking about in November, assuming it actually comes out in November, is GTA 6. But I know for a fact I will not be playing it because I don't really care about Grand Theft Auto. I've played a little bit of, like, yeah, so for this we have to sink the ships escorting the big one, the Man of War. But if we sink the Man of War itself, we end up desynchronized. So do not aim at the other one. For right now, you just need to focus on... But yeah, this is actually taking me a little bit longer to remember how to do this, because I forgot how the naval combat worked for a second. It's been, like, you know, they make such a big deal about the naval combat in this game because, you know, it's a new mechanic, it's a new part of the Assassin's Creed series. But I think you only do it, like, one additional time in the story. I think I end up either desynchronized or very dangerously close to it. I don't remember.
You should consider ceasing fire, or at least switching to chain shock.
But what was that gonna do? Yeah, I'm in, like, dangerously close. And unlike, you know, Connor regularly... unlike Connor regularly, your ship's damage doesn't regenerate over time. You know, if you lose your health, you lose your health until the end of the battle. I think in Assassin's Creed 4 they had it to where it never regenerates at the end of the battle. You have to actively, like, dock and then repair your ship. I can't remember. I don't remember. I know at least in this game you don't have to manage your ship in terms of that, because you're not constantly in the ship. Oh, and the reason the game's glitching out right there is because of the fact that there's technically a desynchronization wall right there. Alright, so now that the all the other ships are gone, we can focus on the Man of War. And what you have to do is you just have to use the chain shot in order to destroy the mast. I feel like I should have died there, but you know what? I am not going to complain. I think that's the game's mercy. Oh, I got lucky. Okay. Alright. But yeah, once you destroy the mast, you can now board the ship. But Haytham decides to say, fuck you.
What are you doing?
Ending this.
I would have loved it if Haytham didn't make it and just, like, fucking brained himself on the ship there. On the other ships is, like, whatever that platform was. I just saw that guy appear out of thin air.
Cover from the quarter deck! Secure the aft line! High off the bow!
Alright, we got some... What the fuck?!
I need to get below deck.
That ship was clearly invisible. What the hell just happened? Like, were we on the Flying Dutchman ship or something? What the hell just happened? I feel like that's one of my guys. I feel like I just killed a bunch of my guys. All right. So once you kill the officer, I didn't get the kill streak thing, but for some reason the only weapon I had was the hidden blade, which was interesting, but whatever. His feet's clipping through the floor. Like, I thought you had at least the tomahawk for this.
What has Church done with the cargo?
Doesn't look empty. Are you sure that's not the cargo?
It's been quite an adventure. Let me tell you. Working my way through your nasty little tricks and traps. Clever! Some of them anyway. I'll give you credit for that. And for the quietude with which you pulled it off. We had a dream, Benjamin! A dream you sought to destroy. And for that, my fallen friend, you will be made to pay!
I really do love Haytham's voice actor at times.
Enough.
We came here for a reason.
Different reasons, it seems.
Where are the supplies you stole?
Go to hell.
I know for a fact they're not in hell.
I ask again. Where are the supplies?
On the island yonder. Awaiting pickup. But you've no right to it. It isn't yours.
No, not mine. Those supplies are meant for men and women who believe in something bigger than themselves. Who fight and die that one day they might be free from tyranny such as yours.
Are these the same men and women who fight with muskets forged from British steel? Who bind their wounds with bandages sewn by British hands? How convenient for them. We do the work. They reap the rewards.
You spin a story to excuse your crimes. As though you're the innocent one and they the thieves.
It's all a matter of perspective. There is no single path through life that's right and fair and does no harm. Do you truly think the Crown has no cause? No right to feel betrayed? You should know better than this. Dedicated as you are to fighting Templars, who themselves see their work as just. Think on that the next time you insist your work alone befits the greater good. Your enemy would beg to differ, and would not be without cause.
Zawanios gina, netiahne te kantu titokaske.
You did well. His passing was a boon for us both.
You were in the White Void too. That place is weird, isn't it? Every time I kill someone, I always end up in there. Yeah, but that's it. Benjamin Church is dead, and that was pretty eventful. I mean, so what? We have, what? Haytham and Charles left, I think. Those are the only two left for the... So I would have loved it. I know this sounds really fucked up because I know Haytham is Connor's father. It would have been really funny as hell if, like, immediately the second Haytham, like, put his shoulder on his, like, after Benjamin dies and, like, Haytham says, "You did well," Connor just turns around and stabs him with the hidden blade in the throat. Like, just immediately right there. Boom. End the game. I mean, then again, I pointed out back in, like what, 10 parts ago that Connor had ample opportunity to kill Charles Lee, but he chose not to because fucking stupidity. But I'm just saying, like, it was the scene at the Continental Congress where, you know, Charles is sitting there and he's criticizing George Washington, and Connor was gonna do it, but he had ample opportunity and still didn't do it. So everything that happens in this game is on Connor. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's going to do it for this part of Assassin's Creed 3. The next time we meet in Assassin's Creed 3, we're going to be seeing the follow-through on Benjamin Church, see how everything resolves itself, I guess. We're going to... I mean, we still have 2 Templars left to kill. One of them is Haytham, so let's see how that goes. So see you guys next time, and take care.